Welcome, one and everyone, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 261, the 5-year anniversary episode. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 5 years ago today, I first sat before you, a strange and odd man in a felt cap and glasses. And we carried on and waxed philosophical for, I think the first episode was about 3 hours long, for some good time. And now, of course, we have greater structure to our episode. But hey, 5 years. That is nothing to sneeze at, ladies and gentlemen. Not because people tend to sneeze when they hear the word or the phrase 5 years, but yeah, not sure where that saying comes from. Anyway, lesson, don't sneeze when you hear the phrase 5 years, because it's nothing to sneeze at, and it's been 5 years. So, thank you everybody for coming to this week's episode. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a longer than normal show. Already cleared it with my beautiful wife. We're delaying dinner. I'm doing a nice 2-year-long anniversary, or 2-hour long, maybe it'll be 2 hour long, maybe an hour and a half, but it'll be a longer episode. We're going to play video games, we're going to smoke cigars, we're going to do all sorts of rituals that we're going to bring back from the history of the show. I've got a reading rap lyrics while wearing a confused expression ready, which is strange, because I never have one ready. Oh, really? Sorry about that. There. Better? Good. We're good to go, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I hope the sound is working. I'm getting no complaints yet, so that's good. I hope the video is working on my end. It's a little laggy, but if you guys aren't complaining, then good. Gentleman Badger says, can we get some amazing flute playing? Yes. I have my penny whistle ready so that we can begin the flute concerto as necessary. I also came prepared with 2 cigars. That's right, 2. Just in case something happens to the first. Like I finish it before the show is over. Or something like that. Anyway, I'm prepared. We're going to have a good time. Well, there is one downside to this entire thing, ladies and gentlemen. And that's that it is yet again blisteringly hot. I complain about this every week. And I'm sorry about that. I know. Oh, Holy Calcul 3 says, where is Kevin Bacon? Well, he's actually in the frame of this shot. You can see him if you look closely. I'll leave that there. We'll call it a Where's Waldo segment of Scotch and Smoke Rings, only this time it's Where's Kevin? We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen, if you can find him. Who will be the first one to spot Kevin Bacon? I don't know. But here I am in the middle of summer, in the middle of July, or the beginning of July. Shiot says I see him. Alright, congratulations, Shiot, you found Kevin Bacon before everybody else. Holy Calcul says okay, well I think everybody found him. He's pretty easy to spot. So there you go. Kevin Bacon is no longer a mystery, but there he is. He's before your eyes so that you never have to miss him again. Cyrano says, or K. Rano says, does Oxhorn watch the chat on Twitch? Yes, I have both chats up. I'll be answering your questions. We'll be playing your recorded messages and showing off your fan art. It's going to be great. Cigar says only 20 weeks left until winter. I know, I'm looking forward to it. I like winter, what can I say? The summer is not my thing. Why? Because of this. I put brand new ice cubes in my Scotch glass when I sat down to do this show, and they're already melted. Look at that. That is not as it should be. I should be sipping on delicious Scotch, not melted water. But Greg McLovin says, Ox, I'm pleased to inform you that I'm currently uploading a little something for you in celebration for both this show and your upcoming birthday. That's right, I do turn an age soon. The age thing is upon me, and I am not ashamed. No, I say bring on the wrinkles and the arthritis. I don't care. I embrace it with gusto. I mean, Gandalf is epic, but he's not a spring chicken. Am I right? Just saying. Old fellows can own things too. Alright, Dragon XL says send a voicemail at the last minute. Don't worry, Ox, the voicemail is family friendly. Good. Don't you worry, I've got them all queued up. Alright, we got a show to do here, so I'm gonna start with the lighting of the cigar. Now look at this cigar, ladies and gentlemen, before we start. This is a Cifuentes y Cia. Cifuentes y Cia? I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. Partagas 1845. Flor de Tabacos de Compañía. Well, whatever all of that means, it's going to be amazing. Look how interesting it is. It starts out with a tapered tip. And then it bulges outwards, almost like a comedy cigar from the Marx Brother days. And then it's snipped off at the end there. So we'll pull the ring off and just enjoy this thing for what it is. Not sure exactly how long it's going to last, but I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. Ah. Blast. The outside leaf was weak, and so it snagged a little bit, but it'll still be good. Ulfer says, hello, Brandon, from Tulalip. Pleasure to have you here, Ulfer. Tulalip is not far from me. I have been there frequently in the past. So good to have a neighbor in the house. Ooh. Interesting. I gotta turn these fans off if I'm gonna light this thing. This should not be so difficult. Cigars are supposed to be enjoyed in a laid-back, leisurely manner. There we go. Like a breath of fresh air. Alright, smoke rings. Let's see here. William Moore says, hail, hail, good Sir Oxhorn. I come prepared with a brand new Missouri Meerschaum pipe, some black cordial pipe tobacco, and a nice glass of tea. I trust you're prepared as well. I am, with not only scotch and cigars, but tea as well. It's a hot day here in Seattle. I'm having some traditional southern iced tea. Because my beautiful wife, who of course is from the south and makes a killer pitcher of cold iced tea. Ooh, it's hot in this room. I gotta stop complaining. That's unmanly. Alright. Scotch time scored with. Blended Scotch whiskey with one of the better ones that I've tried. Scoresby, ladies and gentlemen. They should really pay me or something. I need to contact them. Man, if you... Alright, I gotta stop talking about how hot it is. Whew! Alright, smoke rings! Smoke rings! These kids on Vine with their vapes are making me look foolish. I've been doing this for 5 years before Vine ever existed, and I've been blowing out these prolific and beautiful smoke rings. But then these kids get on Vine with their hookahs and their vapes, and they just make these strings of smoke rings that put me to shame. Let's see if I can try this again. I'm getting some. There we go. The trick is coming back. I know we need some air. Whew. Cool me down, fans. Oh yes, here we go. There we go. Feeling better. Feeling better. Things are good. Can't complain. Can't complain. Lego Master says those kids are all immature and fake, Oxhorn. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Also, hello from LA. I don't really talk much here. Lego Master, pleasure to have you here, my friend. You know what? If you don't want to talk, that's completely fine. I'm happy to have viewers and talkers alike. But I'm also glad that you've decided to say something today. So, pleasure to have you here, Lego Master. Lawman Z, our friend, is in the chat. Hello there, Lawman Z. Pleasure to see you. Doc Hemsty says, no need to be ashamed of these Vine kids. You do some amazing smoke ships, which top all the Vine smoke ring chains. Indeed! Indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you're making me feel better. This is the secret as to why I do the show. Really. Really. It's not for your benefit. No, it's for mine. You guys pump me up. Make me feel like $1 million. So there you go. It's completely selfish. On my end, anyway. Not bad, not bad. Can't complain about this cigar. Can't complain at all. Alright, we've got a great show for you today. Lots of fan art to get through. Lots of recorded messages to get through. All sorts of amazing segments to get through. Pleasure to see so many people here today. Lots of people that I haven't seen in a while. F and Mac, good to see you, my friend, says, 5 short but classy years, Octorn. I remember when I watched the very first episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. I was only 12 years old then. Wow, the years really fly by. It feels like I've got to know you better than my own brother through the years, hee hee. Thank you for everything, and let's all pray for several decades of more classiness. Indeed, my friend. Bottoms up. Cheers. Chin chin. BenJawanka247 says, hey there, man. My name is Yared, and I love your vids. Haha, hello from Florida. Smiley face, pleasure to see you, my friend. Dragon Exile is in the chat and says, why not take a break to put a damp washcloth in your freezer, then wrap it around your neck. At the first hour, it helps having an icy cold rag around your neck to keep you nice and cool. Smart. I wonder how long it would last. Usually when I do those things, you know, you go onto a website, 5 life hacks for sleeping at night in a room without air conditioning. And then they say put your sheets in the freezer or something like that. But then it only lasts 5 minutes. And you grab your sheets, you put them on your bed, you lay down, you feel great. And then 5 minutes later you're sticky and hot and nasty. We'll see. Never know until you try. Alright, let me change. There we go. Better focus. Better shot. Okay, let's show off some of your fan art because I have it up here. Okay, hold on a second. Wow, I'm getting some major lag. Alright, here we go. So this one is submitted by Marcus. And he says, I was browsing through some old files and I came across this pic of a young and classy Oxhorn. I was supposed to make fan art of, but I was going to delete it. But just look at it, so you can't, with that classy smirk and classy tie, and a newborn zug-zug on his classy chin. Haha, you just can't do anything but love it. Well, thank you, good sir. This was quite a few years ago. I think it was 2009. A fan had sent me this tie through the mail to my P.O. box, and I really enjoyed it. Look, I'm even sporting my iPhone 3G in this particular shot. But yeah, a much younger beard. Certainly not as evolved as the one you see before you today. So thank you for that one, good sir. This is from Andrew, and he says, I just found this bottle in the back of one of my cabinets. It was my grandfather's. It has been aging for 25 years. Just thought it would be cool to show. Cheers. Look at this. Pinch by Haig & Haig Old Blend Scotch Whiskey. Holy cow, it's a bottle of Scotch whiskey. I've never heard of the brand Pinch. I'm fascinated. I would love to learn more about that brand. It looks like a cool bottle, so congratulations on such a find, my friend. Let me know if you decide to taste it, but you might want to get it checked first, because I don't know if it's going to be okay. Should be. Whiskeys age well. This is something that I shared. Let's see. There we go. And what it is it's a link to a video about a guy who tells you how to taste Scotch. And I'll play just a little bit of it, not the whole thing, but it's a fascinating video. If you really want to understand the differences between wine tasting and Scotch tasting, this is a great video to watch. Now, I remember that a long time ago, the fans shared a video on this channel of a guy from Scotland who is a whiskey taster, and he really gets into it, and he loves it so much that he even throws some of it away. But this guy is a little bit more legit than that. Not too flashy, kind of...
Does the finish happen? Is it really long? Is it very
understated.
The glass. And after a couple of seconds, you get little beads, little tears and legs that begin to come down. And those tears and legs tell you two things. The size of them as they appear on the rim tells you the alcohol content.
So I won't play the whole thing. I just found it really illuminating, and I learned some stuff about Scotch that I didn't know before from watching it. So go to the Scotch and Smoke Rings group on Facebook, and you can find a link to the video, and it's going to be fascinating for you. Next up is this from Nolan, and he says, Sir Francis Baconmeister Jr. teamed up with Pork the Orc to bring We Eat Flesh to the Horde. As an orc shaman myself, I love my meat, and was honored with the first We Eat Flesh stand in my garrison, with meat roasting over the lava. Ribs, chops, Ravager meat, all coated in bacon. Please ignore the powerfully bearded orc in the pictures, for Korshiut is just there to make sure it is ready for his garrison. Approved by War Chief Vol'jin. And, alright, so he's a fan of We Eat Flesh. This is his We Eat Flesh station. Horde food stand. Of course, based on my movie We Eat Flesh, which you guys should check out if you haven't seen it yet. Okay, next up is this photo from Maxwell, and he says, classic moment. I stumbled across this while trying to find pictures of warrior oxhorn and WoW-related gnomes, but again I found this, and this is and was a classic moment. Indeed, this was not long ago when my brother came to co-host the episode. We had a great time. It's always great when my brother Beanstalk can come. He really adds, he livens up the party. And here's a photo from Ironbark, and it's a photo of Scoresby Scotch. Was $26.95, now $20.95. Aged for 36 months, distilled and blended in Scotland. 750 milliliters. This is similar to the Scotch that I'm drinking today. And, in fact, it's the exact same Scotch that I'm drinking today, 720 milliliters. And he asks if it's a good deal. Now, I don't know what the prices are in Texas. He says, I found this in Central Texas. Is it a good price oxhorn? And yeah, I would say it is. Because it used to be that you could get a nice bottle of Scoresby for between $11 and $13 in Seattle. But due to the government taxing alcohol, it's now up to 20 bucks up here. So, from my perspective, yeah, that's a fair price. It may not be in Texas. You'll have to check. Then there's this from Egg Baisal. And he says, he'll tear you apart, but like a gentleman. And there he is, wearing a top hat and holding a cane. Pretty classy, my friend, pretty classy. Then there's this from Mete Espedal. Look, I made a salad. There you go. It's a bacon salad, which is the right kind of salad. Then there's this from Christina. She shared an Incredibeard post. There are two kinds of people in the world. Those who appreciate a good beard and those who are wrong. Indeed. Then there's this from Damon LaRue. How does one seal a wound while looking classy and having good taste as well? Bacon bandages. Bacon strips, adhesive bandages, free toy inside. Of course, that begs the question, what kind of free toy would be inside a tin of bacon-themed Band-Aids? I hope it's a free piglet toy. I wouldn't be pleased unless the toy itself were a piglet. Alright, we have some messages, so for those who don't know, in addition to accepting your fan art, which you can submit yourself on facebook.com/groups/Oxhorn, that's where our Scotch and Smoke Rings group is. Just try to apply to join the group. I'll accept you and you can upload your own fan art. We also have a link here at scotchandsmokerings.com where you can click a button and record a message for everybody to enjoy. We have a few such messages today from a variety of different players. First up is Andrew. Andrew is on the program today. What is on your mind, sir?
Hello, Mark. How's it going? Andy the DK here again, aka Andrew. How are you tonight, fine sir?
Doing well. How are you?
I know that I have sent a La Roma de Cuba cigar your way, fine sir. So you should be receiving it in the mail, and give me your thoughts when you do smoke it. Thanks, Doc. Have a good one. Stay classy.
Andrew, my friend, thank you so much. He said, if you couldn't hear him, that he sent a cigar my way, and I'm really thrilled to be able to get it, so thank you very much. I can't wait to get it. When I get it, I will smoke it here on the program for you and let you know what I think. Next up on the program is Gentleman Badger. Gentleman Badger, what is on your mind?
Good Oxhorn, do you believe that someone of any species, even say a gnome or a badger, could be a gentleman? Thank you.
A philosophical question as ever, Gentleman Badger. And the answer is, of course, yes, but with a slight caveat. A badger could never be a gentleman. A badger could only be a gentle badger. A gnome could never be a gentleman. A gnome could only ever be a gentle gnome. There is a gentlemanly philosophical attribute that is persistent among all of the different breeds and races, and that is gentlemanliness. You know, having a slowness to anger, having quick wit, enjoying the finer things, having a classy disposition. And people of all walks of life can be gentle in their own way. But only a man can be a gentleman. Next up is Dragon Exile. Dragon Exile, what is on your mind?
Oxhorn, have you tried playing Terra Online, Firefall, Fall of Titans, or any other MMORPG other than WoW?
Great question, and the answer is no. I don't even have time to play WoW these days, let alone Titanfall and Terra Online, as much as I would love to, and I would love to. I sadly do not have the time. Someday, however, I hope to be able to. On that day, I will let you know exactly what I think about those particular games. So thanks very much for your comments, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your recorded messages. Thank you for your fan art submissions. They are always welcome. And now back to the chat. William Marr says, yes, I remember one night 5 years ago after watching Rafflemow and Orcs in Space, finding something called Scotch and Smoke Rings, then I just watched the replays on YouTube. But just a couple of years ago, I was able to download Twitch TV to my Xbox 360, and I was able to talk with the Mighty Ox, and then here we are. Well, it's good to reminisce about the origins of your your introduction to everything that is Oxhorn, and gentlemanly and classy. So thank you definitely for sharing your story. FN Max says, you missed my art, the glitched Hearthstone. I thought I had that up on my tab. What he's referring to is he was playing Hearthstone and there was this weird graphical glitch that caused the center of the Hearthstone box to like shatter inwards. It was really fascinating. I thought I had that up on my screen because I was going to show it, but I must have forgotten. So my apologies, F and Mac. If you wanna check it out, you guys can go to the Scotch and Smoke Rings group and see it there. Ironbuck says, I once tried playing an FPS on the Xbox. That was a scary time in my life. You know, you and I are on the same page there, buddy. I have never been the biggest FPS fan. My wife, on the other hand, is a big FPS fan. She loves the Halo franchise. She could destroy me in any first-person shooter. But I instead have played strategy-based games and MMOs to date. Andy the DK says, Ox, believe it or not, you were one of the reasons I started smoking cigars 5 years ago. Cheers, my Tarn friend. And cheers to you, good sir. I trust that you have the tolerance and restraint to smoke only in a classy manner, as I have encouraged all of the show viewers to do over the years. So kudos to you for choosing a fine hobby and a classy pastime. I raise my glass to you in tolerance and temperance, but not totalitarianism. For 17 says, I was only 16 when I saw Red Snappa, and I'm 24 now. It's strange to me, because my Oxhorn movies really do not seem like all that long ago. I realize now that we're coming up on, you know, 9 to 10 years of my Oxhorn movies. I published the first one in 2005, I believe it was. Yeah, Hark Hear the Whales. So, but it still feels like yesterday to me. Strange feeling. But it's also rewarding to hear from so many young people who watched my movies when they were young, and now they're young adults and they've gone to college and they're getting married and starting their lives, and they remember my movies with fondness. It's probably the same feeling I have towards Homestar Runner. Many of you are probably familiar with Homestar Runner, and I watched a lot of Homestar Runner when I was a young adult, and I'm really glad to hear that they're considering coming back. F and Max says, have you ever been to Sweden? If not, I think you should consider it. I would love to go to Sweden, my friend. I would love it. You know, I was doing some research over the past week, and the Swedes really have been everywhere. I mean, they have been everywhere. Talk about an explorer nation. Now, I am not here to condone the invasions and the barbarism of the Vikings, right? Because they went to Ireland, they kidnapped Irish ladies, brought them back to Sweden, which is why so many Swedes today have red hair. And there was a lot of stuff that went down, like the burning of monasteries and the looting of monasteries. None of that I approve of. However, they were world explorers. And you know the whole Ukrainian-Russian conflict that's going on right now? Well, I was just doing some research on Russia just to educate myself, and I discovered that the ancient Russians were really a loose group of warring tribes in Russia, and they had no unification until they were invaded by the Swedes. It's the Swedish that came in the early, hundreds, certainly before the thousands, and started planting their roots in Russia and invading Russian towns and taking over Russian towns, so that many existing Russians are descendants of ancient Swedes, which I found fascinating. And of course, we all know that the Swedish and the Vikings made it to North America before Christopher Columbus did. And in fact, I remember reading a recent article about how the Swedes not only made it to North America, but even traded with North American tribes regularly for over the span of like 100 or 200 years. before Christopher Columbus ever found North America. So, a warlike nation, no doubt, but definitely world explorers, and gotta hand it to him for that. So yes, I have an admiration for certain parts of Swedish culture, and I studied Swedish in college. I would love to go to Sweden someday. It was my fantasy to go to Oslo, because I remember that there were some burial mounds that still exist in downtown Oslo that I really wanted to visit and explore. Sadly, that didn't work out in my college days, but maybe someday. Look at 801 says, Oxhorn, I don't know if you knew this or not, but watching your videos with my friends formed a large part of my childhood. Hearing those kind of stories really just make my day. You know, it was a hobby of mine for a very long time. Then, of course, I graduated from college and needed to find a way to finance myself and my family. And so I did the Oxhorn stuff for as long as I could until I needed to break away and start a career so that I could finance my family. But to hear that all of that time was not wasted and that people still found value in it and laughed and had a good time and it improved their World of Warcraft experience, it really just makes my day. So thank you. It's great to hear that. All for 17 says, did the Vikings invade Egypt? Probably not. I don't know. I can't answer that question. You know, if I found out that the Vikings invaded Egypt, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Well, maybe a little bit surprised, but not that surprised. Andy the DK says, Ox, by the way, did you watch the Vikings TV show on History Channel? It's amazing. Definitely check it out. You know, I typically skip the History Channel because lately it's just been reality shows and a lot of non-history stuff, like Ghost Hunters and all of that. But if they actually produced something that was historical and interesting, I'm all for it. If it's on Netflix, let me know. I'd love to check it out. OCD Gaming says hello, Ox. Hello, OCD Gaming. Pleasure to have you in the chat today. FN Max says, yes, World of Warcraft actually based the Tauren race on us Swedes. Oh, because they're Native Americans? Because they got to America? They're not Native Americans. They might have been to America before other Europeans, but... don't know if I would agree with you there, Evan Mac. It's an interesting theory. I'm going to put a pin in that, and let's revisit it later. Delanish says, I wish I could find a career. The job market stinks. Oh, and Oxhorn, I see your Independence Day Oxhorn videos. Now a YouTube ad for me. Good. Yes, that's actually great news. I'm glad you told me that because YouTube is giving producers like myself free advertisements. And I was able to choose which movies that I could use as advertisements. So I chose that one because it's really short. But yeah, I'm glad it's actually working. You know, the job market is really rough. It's not so bad in here in Seattle because we're a tech hub. And anywhere where there's a lot of technology and startups growing, the job market seems to be better and recuperating. But elsewhere in the United States, it is indeed pretty tough. And I'm getting the hiccups for some reason. Let me drown my hiccups in tea. Die, hiccups, drown in tea! And a hiccup died. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the job market. I've been actually coming to some conclusions lately, and those are that it's less fun being a servant to somebody else. While rewarding financially and with experience and education, there comes a point in your career where you're done working for another human being. You're done fulfilling another man's dreams. And I wish I had the knowledge that I have now 10 years ago. Because there's so much that I could have done, so much I could have produced. I recommend, well, I don't recommend, I'll give you another option. If you're having a hard time finding a career, and if you find that you're at adept at the internet, social media, blogging, writing, those kind of things, you can find ways to make a decent living doing things you enjoy, like writing reviews or creating websites or posting videos and things like that. It takes a little bit of work, it takes a little bit of intuition, but there are many young people whom I admire today who have uprooted their entire lives and moved to the Caribbean because they generate a passive income online just based on the blogs that they write and things like that. There are a couple of resources that I'll share with some of you. If you're looking to get into that kind of career where you're working for yourself and you're controlling your own destiny and you're making your own work instead of working for another person, check out the blog called smartpassiveincome.com. It's a guy who makes like $25,000 a month just publishing blog posts and recommending products and hosting podcasts and stuff like that. Fascinating individual. There are a couple of other places you can go if you really want to understand online marketing. There's a website that's similar to Reddit, but for online marketers, called inbound.org. These are some of the places that I visit every single day just to learn a little bit more about online marketing and website production. And these websites have helped me turn my beard website into a fairly lucrative possession. And then there's also another website called matthewwoodward.co.uk. A very young guy who makes $17,000 a month. And the reason I know this is because these guys publish their monthly earnings online and show you exactly where their money is coming from. It's an enormous amount of money that we would dream to have. And these are guys who just go onto their computer and they host a website and they publish a blog post and they review a product. They're smart about it. They don't just write some random 500-word blog post and expect it to make them $1 million. They do their research, they do their keyword research, they produce content that fits the keywords, they go and join affiliate programs. They definitely work. But these are guys who sit in front of their computer and they make thousands of dollars, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, working from home and working for themselves. And I only say this because in an economy like ours, where we have all of these young people who are graduating from college in tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt, and are unable to convert that college experience into a career or a paid job, there are still so many great opportunities online where if you're disciplined and you have some sort of ambition and motivation, you can sit down in front of a computer screen and print gold with your fingertips. It's possible. So there are some resources for you. Check out their blogs. Do some reading. It's a little bit of work. Another great place to go to is called the Warrior Forum. Warrior Forum. It's for online internet marketing warriors. There's a lot of spam on that forum, but there's also a lot of really good information as well. Just some interesting things and other opportunities for you guys if you're wanting to make a career for yourselves that you can own instead of working for somebody else. William Moore says, I'm halfway through a fine bowl of tobacco, a fresh glass of tea, and watching Oxhorn. Is there no finer way to spend an evening? I can't think of one. I'm sweltering in my own beard, and yet I'm having an amazing time listening to myself talk, which I'm sure says something about my own character. But anyway, we're having a great time, right? We're enjoying ourselves. Dragon XL says, I would love to do that, but I prefer to do it in my own way. I find that working hard would make retiring all the more sweeter because you worked hard with your hands to earn your retirement. That's my personal belief. Kudos to you. Major applause from my end. That's a legitimate way to work. My brother's doing that. My brother is finishing his 4-year degree in computer programming. He's going to be a Java programmer. And when he gets his degree, he's going to be able to walk into almost any tech job that he wants because he's got a degree that's so hard to get. And he's such a hard worker. I know that any employer that hires him is really going to be hiring a good solid worker. Here's another idea. If you're wanting a job where you're working with your hands, but you're still sort of owning your own destiny, check out a blog called MrMoneyMustache.com. Yes, it's a blog about a guy who does carpentry and flips houses while wearing an awesome mustache. How could I not like that, right? MrMoneyMustache.com. I don't know these guys. I'm just fans of what they produce. He's a guy that talks about retiring early by stocking up as much money as you can, saving it, investing it, living off of the dividends that money produces, and then working with your hands by flipping houses, building roofs, improving properties. You know, these are skills you can teach yourself, especially in 2014, by just going onto YouTube and watching how-to videos on how to install the latest shower head or something. You know, put $5,000 into a project and turn that into $50,000 worth of profit, something like that, right? So if that's the kind of stuff where you want to work with your hands, MrMoneyMustache.com. Lots of great tips there. Dragon XL says, I'd rather go back to the roots of my ancestors and have a career in building ships. You're like a man after my own heart, right? My father and my grandfather were both fishermen. They both owned their own ships. My father built his own ship out of a converted World War II submarine rammer. He built he cut 2 giant fish tanks into the hull of his ship and then got some water pumps to suck the herring out of the sea, which he discovered with sonar and put into the pump so that he could sell them to Eskimo fishermen to use as bait. He built a helicopter launch pad on his ship so that whenever he wanted to, he could fly his family into him in the middle of the sea. I spent my 4th grade year out at sea because my dad wanted us there, and so our entire family went out to sea with him, and my mother homeschooled me and my brother for that year, and it was one of the fondest memories that I have. Sadly, it's going to be harder to find a career in like your shipwrightmanship, where you're building a ship out of wood. But if you live in a port town like I do in Seattle, there's infinite number of possibilities to work in a shipyard or to find some local ships that need repair or something. So yeah, if you've got a dream like that, you can definitely convert that into a career. It just takes a little bit of imagination. Andy the DK says $25,000 a month. That's a lifetime supply of World of Warcraft game time and Hearthstone cards. I forgot the audience that I'm speaking to. Yes, of course. You know, hey, you're absolutely right. You can get your video gaming done in 1 month, and then that's it. You can just enjoy your gaming for the rest of your life on $25,000 worth of World of Warcraft credits and Hearthstone cards. Oh dear. Yeah, I would never spend my money on that, but hey, more power to you, my friend. James the Ginger says, Oxhorn, would you classify cider as a classy drink? Yeah, in moderation. You know, the thing about cider is that it's sweet. and people who are aficionados of hard liquor, sweetness needs to be muted. Like the nice thing about Scotch, if you watch that video that I showed you earlier, he talks about the 3 different aspects of enjoying a good whiskey. There's the first sniff, which is the alcohol. You feel the tingliness of the alcohol, but then there's the second sniff, which is the sweetness. And there's a mild sweetness in Scotch, which you can really enjoy. And then the third sniff is the floral and fruity notes. Not too bad. And then he says that you're supposed to chew on the whiskey. Chew on it like this. All right, let's chew on it. Don't chew on it too hard or else it'll fall out of your mouth and water your beard, which I suppose is the perfect nutrients for a beard. Scotch, anyway. Ironbark says, so many places are full of beardists. It's disgraceful. And then Gentleman Badger says, beardsism is as wrong as any other prejudice. Yes, let's not get too carried away, my friends. But yes, this is true. I happen to be lucky in that I live in Seattle, which has an entire hipster culture where people are growing their beards out like crazy. Now, they also wear tight pants and trendy glasses, and they put a lot of gel in their hair, and they all wear tight-fitting plaid, and their short-sleeve shirts cut off right here. And if they wear suspenders, it's usually with a belt. So, yeah, there's an entire hipster culture, which, But the nice thing about that is that I can probably get a job almost anywhere and keep my beard. If I were to move to Texas, or someplace that was a little less progressive, it might be harder for me to get a job with a beard. Ironbox says, have you ever thought of professional voice acting, Ox? And yeah, I have. It's a real hard gig to get into. If you know somebody or if you have an agent, then it's a lot easier to get work. But finding an agent or getting to know somebody in the industry is the first great hurdle that you have to get over. And it's one of the things that I frankly have not had the time or energy to try to do. Cigar Rock says, time to plug your book. Why not? Plug my books! Plural, that's right, Arrow 1, my collection of short stories and poetry and short novels. And then, of course, The Tale of Cloron Hastings, my full-length novel, my swashbuckling sea adventure yarn, filled with swordsmanship and magic, sea adventures and nautical tales, fantasy creatures, and a big heaping dose of reality and drama, suitable for all ages in my humble opinion. A book at chloronhastings.com that you will not find lacking. And of course my book of short stories and poems, a book that I wrote many moons ago, but that is still pertinent today. I know you can't see because of the glare. There you go. Arrow1book.com is where you can find that. So I hope you guys enjoy. Ironbark says, Texas is horrible in general. That's my experience, at least. Oh, well, you better be careful. You don't want to anger all of the Texans. You know, I've never been to Texas, so I can't give it a review. I can say that I've known many people who have lived in Texas, and they've all said amazing things. I have a former boss who lived in Houston, and though he said the weather was horrible and that it was hot all the time, he said the people were lovely, and they were kind, and they would just be friendly as all get out. In Seattle, we have a very... I've been told that Scandinavian culture is very introverted and not very outwardly friendly. Once you get to know a person in Scandinavia, they become friendly, but that they're kind of cold and aloof at first. Now, I've never been to a Scandinavian country, so I don't know that for sure. Many of my Scandinavian followers in the chat right now can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but Seattle was founded by many people from Denmark and Sweden and Norway. So we're told that Seattle is a fairly unfriendly culture until you get to know people, because we have that Scandinavian influence. So it's a world of night and day. When you go to Texas, the first person off the street will greet you with a howdy and shake your hand. Where in Seattle, if you walk by somebody, you avert your gaze because you don't want to make eye contact with them. So it's just a different culture. Jonathan is in the chat. Pleasure to see you, Jonathan. Oh, and he says, good night, everybody. Oxhorn, see you next week. All right. Well, pleasure to have had you here, Jonathan. Have a good night. Glad that you stopped by. Same with you, Elizabeth. Pleasure to have had you. The real ninja Da says, Roxers Boxers. And I'll up that with the lead text. What to go? Football. Shiut says, there are usually rather nice people down here in Texas. Ironbark says, okay, well, Houston is where I grew up, and I wouldn't have to agree with you there, Oxhorn. Small towns, like most, probably are different, so I guess that's more small town mentality instead of Texas. Quite possibly. I've never been there, so I'll just have to take other people's words for it. Ulfer17 says, explains all the Viking-esque ballrooms in Ballard. I know, right? I love Ballard. So you're in the Seattle area, Tulalip, so you've been to Ballard. Ballard, if for those who don't know, is a small town in Seattle. It's part of Seattle, but it didn't used to be. Seattle actually annexed Ballard, which is a little bit of... The Ballard people are always saying, free Ballard from Seattle. But anyway, if you go to Ballard, you're going to find a lot of old Norwegian and Swedish shops and halls and architecture, because that's where all the Swedes founded themselves, because it's a port town, and a lot of ships came in and out of the port of Ballard. And so when my company's office was there for many years, I really enjoyed working there because I could go to the local Scandinavian shop and get Danish pastries and all sorts of wonderful Danish foods. Holy Cow Kill 3 says, got to get more to drink. Indeed. Thanks for reminding me. Cheers and bottoms up. Shield says, Oxhorn, can we play some Hearthstone? Gentleman Badger says, I heart Hearthstone. Shield says, everybody say Hearthstone. Force him into it. Yeah. All right. If you guys want me to start playing Hearthstone, let me know. As I said, this is an extra long episode, so we've got time. It's only 7:20. I'm sorry, 7:50 my time. So we have another hour of epicness for this 5th year anniversary episode. Enzakuta says, what are you drinking today? Today I am drinking some very rare Scoresby blended Scotch whiskey, 750 milliliters of sweet Scotch. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. It's a lower shelf whiskey, but it's still a good whiskey in my opinion. Alright, since you guys are wanting me to play Hearthstone, I'm going to continue downloading a patch, so apologies if suddenly the frame rate slows down, because I'm in the middle of downloading it. I'm about halfway through. Holy Cow Kill 3 says, hey Ox, would French sparkling water be considered classy? So Perrier is what I assume you're talking about. Perrier is a sparkling water that comes from France. It's a naturally occurring sparkling water. And yeah, I would call it classy. I drink it fairly frequently. It's one of my favorite drinks at work. My office stocks it for free, so I just go to the fridge and pull out a can of Perrier and enjoy it. Yeah, it's better than Coke because it's not sweetened. There's no sweetener in it, so it's good. It's better for you than a sweet Coke. Okay, Dragon XL says Pinball and Minesweeper. Cigar Ox says Solitaire. It would be fairly interesting for me playing Solitaire with so many other people. I wouldn't really be alone, and I'd be trying to fight myself. Interesting. Andy the DK says, hey Oxhorn, how long did it take for you to get your history major in college? By the way, I'm going to college for game design. I hope one day to work at Blizzard. If that day comes, I will make a whole Ox quest line. Kudos to you, my friend. I hope you get your degree. It's a competitive environment, but I encourage you to follow through with your dreams. Just don't go to a crazy online college. Like Full Sail University. Don't go to Full Sail University. Go to a real college, a brick-and-mortar college that's accredited and that's, excuse me, man, that's highly respected. Otherwise, they won't hire you. I have a coworker friend of mine who got his 4-year degree from the University of Phoenix and discovered only after getting his degree that no one would hire him. Because it's a fake college. It's an online college. You really got, if you're going to go to college, go to a real college. But I encourage you to pursue your dreams. Game design is a wonderful thing. But to answer your question, it took me 6 years to get my degree in history, mainly because I took it slow. I spent my first 2 years really quickly getting my Associate of Arts degree with a writing emphasis, and then I went into my major, which at first was Scandinavian Studies, incidentally, and then I switched my major to History proper, where I studied Ancient Greek and Ancient Latin with an emphasis on Greco-Roman history. And it took 4 years in college for me to finish my degree because I was working part-time to finance my degree. But it was an excellent degree. I really enjoyed myself. I went to the University of Washington, a great college. The problem is there are no degrees. I mean, there are no jobs in history unless somebody retires or dies. So, as much as I love history, I definitely wouldn't recommend it if you're trying to get a degree that you're going to convert into a job afterwards. Yeah, if you guys see the buffering, my apologies. It's because I'm downloading the patch to Hearthstone. It's 80% done, so it's almost done. This shouldn't last much longer. Ironbark says, I'm going to an online college and it's completely silly. My friend, warn your fellow Scotch and Smoke Rings viewers, because it's a scam, honestly. There's a great blog that talks about the scam of college. It's called 100 Reasons Not to Go to Graduate School at 100reasons.blogspot.com. Just go to Google and type in 100 Reasons Not to Go to Graduate School and you'll find this blog. And the author is a graduate student who regrets his decision, and he eloquently talks about why you shouldn't go to graduate school, first of all, if you're hoping to get a career out of it and if you actually need money. And then he also talks about just college in general, how it's really becoming a bit of a bubble. Not only is it more expensive these days to get a college degree, but it's harder to get a job outside of college. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to college. College was a very rewarding experience for me. I enjoyed every moment of it, and I'll have those memories for the rest of my life. So I don't regret going to college. But if I didn't have my Oxhorn gig, if I wasn't making money off of my Oxhorn movies, and if I wasn't able to turn the skills that I learned myself while promoting Oxhorn movies and making Oxhorn movies into a career in marketing, I wouldn't have a job today, because there are no jobs in history. So, you know, you just got to be really smart about college. If you do go to college, just be smart about what you're majoring in. Imagine Justin says, Oxhorn Mill, we have 2 smoke ships, the one right now and then one at the end of the show. That's a great suggestion. I'm not going to do that just because I want to keep the flow of the show going. We will do smoke ships, my friend. We will do smoke ships, but let's wait till the end of the show before we do smoke ships. And it looks like Hearthstone has finished downloading the patch. It's now installing it, so I have to wait for it to install. While we wait for it to install, I'm going to go ahead and do reading rap lyrics while wearing a confused expression. And I already have it up in an alternate tab, so here we go. William Moore says, I'm moving from my Italian briar pipe to my rosewood church warden pipe. I shall spare no expense tonight. My friend, you are, you are a classy gent. Here's my church warden. This was a gift from my beautiful wife for my birthday last year. And it's the only church warden I've ever had. I love it to death. It is my go-to pipe now for when smoking tobacco pipes. So you made a wise decision, my friend. Alright, reading rap lyrics while wearing a confused expression. I decided to do something a little bit more relevant today, because usually I'll say, what rap should I do? And then I'll get suggestions from the fans, and then I'll usually do a rap that has long since retired. It's no longer played on the airwaves. It's what we would call classic rap or something like that. But today I'm doing something that was recently released, and it's not strictly rap, it's more pop. But I find that the lyrics in modern pop are just as ridiculous and asinine as classic rap. So today we are going to be doing Birthday by Katy Perry. This is a new song. I haven't even listened to the whole song, but I heard a snippet of it on the radio, and what I heard was so ludicrous that I felt compelled to share it with you today, but with an Oxhorn spin. So this is Birthday by Katy Perry. I heard you're feeling nothing's going right. Why don't you let me stop by? The clock is ticking, running out of time, so we should party all night. Sounds like a legitimate use of time. So cover your eyes, I have a surprise. I hope you got a healthy appetite. If you want to dance, if you want it all, you know that I'm the girl that you should call? Well, what exactly do you mean by all? If I want a grilled mac and cheese, does that count as all? Will you come to my door with a grilled mac and cheese? Because I want one. That sounds great. Katy Perry, where's my mac and cheese? Boy, when you're with me, I'll give you a taste. Make it like your birthday every day. I know you like it sweet, so you can have your cake. Give you something good to celebrate. Oh, that was nice. Cake for a birthday is really nice. Thank you, Katy Perry. So make a wish, I'll make it like your birthday every day. I'll be your gift. Whoa! Give you something good to celebrate? Okay. Calm down there, girl. Pop your confetti. Pop your Perignon. So hot and heavy till dawn. I got you spinning like a disco ball. All night they're playing your song. Well, I didn't realize that both confetti and Perignon were hot. But I suppose if you leave your Perignon out in a hot room, it might get hot. Is that what you're talking about? We're living life. We're doing it right. You're never going to be unsatisfied. What? You're never going to be unsatisfied. So we have two double negatives in that sentence. It would be much more Hemingway-ish if you simply said, you won't be. No, if you simply said, you will be satisfied, instead of you're never going to be unsatisfied. It's like saying, you won't be never satisfied. If you want to dance, if you want it all, again, she's talking about giving me everything, and I still am waiting for my mac and cheese. Okay, now we're getting a little repetitive here. Boy, when you're with me, give you a taste, birthday cake, sweet. Okay, make a wish. I'll make it like your birthday every day, and I'll be your gift. Again, thanks, but there's only so much Katy Perry I can handle. All right, here we go. This is the bridge or the chorus or something. So let me get you in your birthday suit. It's time to bring out the big balloons. So let me get you in your birthday suit. It's time to bring out the big balloons. Is that some sort of euphemism? Because my birthday's, well, boy, when you're with me, I'll give you a taste. Okay, sweet cake, celebrate. Boy, when you're with me, taste, sweet cake, celebrate. So make a wish. All right, now it's repetitive. Just repeats it. So here's a hallmark of modern pop, is that they say one or two refrains, and then they just repeat it over and over and over again. That's all there is to modern music. I should really stop right now. I'm sorry. I'm probably bursting some bubbles, but this girl is talking about getting me in a birthday suit and then showing me big balloons. Slightly euphemisms. Well, the master of euphemisms. He would be slightly pleased and yet also disgusted, I have to say. But it ends with happy birthday. Well, thank you. My birthday is coming up, and I assume the song was written just for me. So thank you, Katy Perry. I look forward to my birthday cake and my mac and cheese. Imagine Justin says, I could go for some mac and cheese with some strips of crispy bacon. Yeah, why not? The Hobbits got that right. Man, they're just making all sorts of tomato sandwiches and crispy bacon in the middle of Nazgul territory. Why can't we have mac and cheese with crispy bacon? It's a hard world. Oh my, most unorthodox poppycock, says Gentleman Badger. I couldn't have said it better myself. Greg McLevin says, Oxhorn, I just finished uploading my gift to you, and it's now on the Facebook page. Well, thank you, good sir. This is highly unorthodox because I tend not to open up fan art after I've already gone through it, but since it's my birthday, let's go ahead and check this out, good sir. All right, what have you been getting into, Greg McLevin Hardtime? Sorry for the lag, it's just... Greg McLevin Hardtongue says, it's done! I proudly present to you a special tribute made by yours truly as an anniversary/birthday present. Hope you like it. Bullhead and Oxhorn tribute. Alright, let me get my screen sharing software up here so that we can see it. And my Twitter is going bonkers. My Twitter is going very bonkers. Okay, where's my... Here we go. Set that over there. Turn that on. Move this to the side. Alright, Greg Hardtongue, what have you got for us today? Bullhead and Oxhorn tribute. Now, it's 6 minutes and 25 seconds long, so
33 years ago.
I can't get through the whole thing, but we'll watch a minute or so. And then I'll show the fans where to go to watch it.
In a tiny village on the rolling plains of Mordor, a certain Torin was born. His fur was white as the purest snow, and had eyes as golden as the sun. His name was Oxworth Pennington, although, given the distinctly shaped horns he will come to wear, he shall be better known as Oxworth.
Oxworth Pennington?
Growing up, Oxhorn's childhood proved more of a challenge than he expected. His views on the world were quite different from those of his peers.
This is true.
He believed an entire subculture of almighty beings from an alternate world watches over us and even at times controls our actions.
Really?
As if this was all a game. This, of course, resulted in much ridicule towards him.
Are you talking about predestination?
Well-being, his parents took him to a counselor to sort out his rambling nonsense. He told the counselor about his beliefs, but was immediately shut down and forced to sit through an excruciating lecture about the Tauren's accepted belief.
Sir, I gotta tell you, this is brilliant. I'm really interested to see how this goes. I can't do the whole 6 minutes for the show, but I'm gonna share this with the fans after the show, and I'll watch the entire thing. You, my friend, have an excellent narrator's voice. Have I told you that before? I think I have. You've got a great voice for this sort of thing. So that tickled my funny bone indeed. Jahuriki is in the Twitch chat, and he says, "Hey buddy, hey buddy." Well, hey buddy to you as well. Goliath says, greetings Oxhorn, greeting to you, my friend. Alright, I'm gonna have to turn my texting noise off because I'm getting a lot of tweets. William Moore asks, "Tell me, Ox, does your mac and cheese contain bacon?" Of course, I didn't even think it was necessary mentioning. What kind of mac and cheese does not contain bacon? The hippie kind. That's right. Ironbark says, Fry and Laurie are the masters of wordplay. Indeed they are. They were some of the most humorous comedians I've ever encountered. I've got every season of A Bit of Fry and Laurie on DVD. I love them that much. Holy Cow Kill 3 says, Ox, have you known that the songs nowadays have questionable lyrics, but the kids love them? Yeah, this is what I've come to learn. But you know, I think that that's been true for a very long time. I was listening to some oldies the other day. It was weird because we play this child music station on Pandora when we're in the car for the kids, when we've got the kids in the car, and it plays Raffi songs like Ring, 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 Banana Phone, you know, harmless songs like that. But then this oldie came on, and it was a harmless sounding song until you listen to the lyrics, and it was fairly unorthodox. It was this guy talking about how much he loved seeing a young girl grow up. And I'm sitting here going, really? This is appropriate for a children's music station? It was slightly awkward. But you know, fairly racist racy themes, and I suppose racist themes, have always been a product of modern popular music. So we must set ourselves apart, ladies and gentlemen, and only indulge in the finest of classy music. And cigars. Oh man, out of fire. Imagine Justin says, matches are better than using a lighter for a cigar because it deteriorates or it destroys the flavor. Is that right, Oxhorn? Technically, yes. The way it works is that if you use a lighter, it's not the best way to go about it because you could get a taste of the lighter fuel in your mouth while smoking a cigar. I have found that I don't really notice it all that much. So, Ironbark says that my grandfather said that oldies / early rock were made for junior high kids. That's true. I mean, most popular music of the 20th century was made for younger kids. Greg McLevin says, just to clarify, the video is set in your character Oxhorn's point of view in Azeroth, not in real life. I did get that, and I appreciate it, Greg. Thank you very much. I'm touched by the video, by the way, so thank you so much. I can't wait to share it with the rest of the fans. The real Ninjada says, be happy that you never need to hear German lyrics. Yeah, I'm happy. I've heard a few German songs, and I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'll take that back. There is some German music that I really enjoy, like Blind Guardian. I think that's a German band. Blind Guardian, they make some really good music. Alright, let's fire up Hearthstone. The download is done, and the installation is done. Let's see if they fixed the glitch. Let me get this rolling. It might take a little while, so I'll share my screen in a moment. Alright, we have some new fellows in the chat showing up. Kinglich1 says, oh gosh, you listen to Blind Guardian? Yes. It's a guilty pleasure. I like Blind Guardian. I like Falconer. I like the Faroes Islands band Tyr, T-Y-R. They're amazing. Einbark says Wagner. He was a great German composer. I do enjoy Wagner.
Find a seat if you can.
Wagner's complex because a lot of Wagner music was used by the Third Reich as propaganda material, which is a bummer. But the music in and of itself is really beautiful, so I still enjoy it. Okay, let me share my screen with you, and we'll see exactly whether or not we can get Hearthstone working. Sorry, I'm organizing my chats so that I can have them up at the same time, so that I can see your comments while I'm playing the game. Oh dear. Yes, I'm still here, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a moment. I'm getting a lot of lag. I am still here, just trying to share my screen. Hold on one moment. There we go. Hold on a minute. Having a hard time increasing the size of my screen. Give me a second. There we go. Now to see if I can actually get my camera working with this. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Holy Cow Kill says, "Hey Ox, have you played any card games or card-based games other than Hearthstone?" No, I haven't, although I've heard great things of some of the others. So I should really expand my my repertoire. Sorry, one moment. Okay. Almost. There we go. William Moore says, "By the way, Ox, my mother Jessie says congratulations on 5 years of classy adventures. Thank you very much. Tell her that I greatly appreciate it." Okay. Let's see if this works. So far, so good, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe they did fix it. There we go. We finally got into a game.
Versus Valera.
There we go. All right. So who am I fighting today? I'm fighting Iron Bark. Iron Bark, good to have you in the chat. Let's see. Livestream7 says, "What's the link to your Christmas album if we want to buy it?" I have it up on oxhorn.com. So go to oxhorn.com and you'll find a link to my Christmas album. Okay, Iron Bark, let's see. How are we going to do this?
Do you need a blessing?
Dragon Exile says, "Kind friends and companions, let us drink and be merry, all grief to refrain, for we may or may ne'er meet here again. Here's to health of the company, and one to our last. Let us drink and be merry, all out of one glass." That's a great Irish, it's an Irish tune. I know it because of the Brobdingnagian bards. So, nice reference there, my friend. I forget exactly how the tune goes. I need to be reminded of it. I might be able to play it on the penny whistle. There we go. What is that? Ah.
I will be your death! Sorry about that.
That's alright, my friend. Let's see if we can do something about this.
Strike!
Alright, so far so good. What is on your agenda, my friend?
Mind if I roll need?
Try this!
Let's see, Mr. Ironbark. What is that?
My shield for Argus!
Alright, so things are not looking good. Let's see, what's this? Spell damage +1, death rattle, draw a card. Give an adjacent minion +1/+1 and taunt. Summon a 4/4 Nerubian.
What now?
Thanks.
Rough stuff. You are a tough customer. What was that?
The Brotherhood shall prevail!
What? Okay, this is not cool.
find us at
Okay, tricky.
Bringing the sound of the 1920s, 1930s, around the world, 24 hours.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
This guy's toast.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can stop at any time, my friend. If you want, you might just want to sit there and just let me beat you. That might be more fun for everybody. Let's have a vote. Who wants to vote for him just sitting there and letting me beat him, huh?
Waiting at the end of the road, which we hear next.
Job's done.
Ouch! Pain? What? Rubbish! Nonsense! Oh, bollocks! Good game, my friend. Good battle, dear Ironbark. Let us see if we can turn things around here. Greg McLovin. So far, so good. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears that Blizzard has fixed the notorious glitch that caused me to get kicked out of games whenever somebody challenged me to a duel.
Gerash! Versus Rexa! Let the hunt begin.
Alright, I just accepted all of my friend requests. Okay, let's see. There we go. This is a good deck. I think I can do well here. Alright, Greg Hartung, no King Crush. No King Crush. I forbid it.
Amazing.
Job's done.
Whoops. My bad. I might have just thrown this. But let's see.
Strike.
Job's done.
Waiting at the end of the road. That's the time of the number which the officer is now concluding. And it was preceded by little.
You and your golden cards.
Strike.
Job's done.
Bring it on, Mr. Hartung. Bring it. Okay, let's see.
Try this.
Strike.
Job's done.
Alright, things are going well so far. Stampeding Kodo! Nonsense.
Blood and plunder.
Do you need a blessing?
Job's done.
Let's see if I can defeat you with my basic warrior deck. I have high hopes. No!
Die, landlubber! More training?
Job's done.
I make a mockery of you, Mr. Hardtongue, with you and your legendaries.
More training?
No! That's it. Now that is what I had to say about that. Sorry about the lag, ladies and gentlemen. We are working on primitive hardware and machinery here.
Your magic shall not save us. For the war chief! For Hellscream! Done.
Whoa! Oh! What else have you in your bag of tricks? I think I might have just boned myself, but we'll see. Ah, come on, really? And with naught but a basic deck, Oxhorn reigns victorious! Oh, the glory! Let me soak up the glory. The taste of your tears is exquisite. Sorry, I got a little overwhelmed there. It's not every day that I get to defeat Greg McLovin Artung with a basic deck. Wow! Oh! Well, maybe I spoke too soon. Let's see if I can get this to work. Uh-oh. No! They did not fix the issue. I just got lucky earlier. Oh, my dear. Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. This is infuriating. Alright, that's it. Solo adventures. Sorry, guys. I'm going on a solo adventure just because I cannot play. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot play with the fans. Oh, and I have to buy? Oh my gosh. Lame. I'll try one more time. Ah! One more time. Oh, for goodness gracious! Whoa, what's going on? Hey, good. I got it. Shoot, my friend. It looks like you and I are crossing blades.
Greetings.
Alright, my friend, let's do this. Dragon Exile says, since this is the 5th anniversary of Scotch and Smoke Rings, perhaps our host could grace us with a toast at the end of the show celebrating his 5 anniversaries. Who's with me? It sounds good to me.
The end is coming!
FMX says, Ox on the Scotch and Smoke Rings website. Episode 296 is missing. Where can I find these videos? My apologies, FMAC. I will do my best to try and find that for you.
I can't do that.
Okay, let's see. What can I do? What can I do? Whoops.
Job's done.
Alright, things are looking good. Come on, my friend, shoot. Let's do your worst. Oh, lame. Okay,
Join or die, or both.
looking good, looking good. Oh!
My hand is too full.
Oh, man!
My hand is too full.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
Who's next?
Your magic shall not save you.
My hand is too full.
Oh, this is infuriating.
The gates are open.
For the Alliance!
Elements guide me.
Job done.
Whew! This is an intense battle.
Feel the power of the winds. Farewell. Farewell.
All right. And the battle is mine. Good job, my friend. You waged a worthy battle. Whew. Well, that was intense, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad you were all there to witness me defeat two of my greatest rivals who defeat me on many occasions. Greg McLovin Hartung and, of course, the venerable Shield. Well, it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. The 2-hour episode is drawing to an end. We've got 10 minutes left, and it is now time for Smoke Ship. What would you like to see, ladies and gentlemen? What is on your mind? Ironbark says, good job. Am I truly the only one who can defeat the mighty Oxhorn this week? Well, it appears that way. But the other combatants posed a daunting challenge, and I feel honored to have defeated them. William Moore says, Coron Hastings and the entire Wavegrazer crew sailing a sea turtle cruise ship on the Great Sea of Scotch. On this ship is Thunk, the master of euphemisms, the Orcs from Space, and Francis Baconmeister Jr. They're having a bacon-eating contest while Hat the Singing Turtle, Barnaby, Kevin Bacon, and all the Mighty Morphin Midget Gnomes enjoy umbrella drinks by the pool, while Associate Professor Evil, the Panda Exterminator Lacey, Lady Nova, Baby Gavin, and Gwendolyn, and the rest of it got cut off. Alright, ladies and gents, looks like that's all the submissions we have, so that's what we're going to go with today. William Moore, thank you very much. Gentleman Badger says, I just want to take a minute to thank our mighty patron of all the hours of entertainment for 5 wonderful years and more to come. Happy soon-to-be birthday, Oxhorn. I also thank the classy viewership. Holy Cow Kill says, Oxhorn, Staghorn, Martus, all in Bloodhoof Village with party hats and bacon in hand, celebrating Scotch and Smoke Rings' 5th anniversary. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, well, great suggestions, and thank you for the tip of the cap there, Gentleman Badger. All right, here we go, smoke ship time. Pay attention, because it's going to be quick. Here we go. Wow, it was brief. It blew this way because of the fans, but for a brief moment there, you saw before your very eyes Coron Hastings, the epic sailor, and the entire crew of Wavegrazer sailing a sea turtle cruise ship on the Great Sea of Scotch. On this ship are Thunk, the master of euphemisms, the Orcs from Space, and Francis Baconmeister Jr. They're having a bacon-eating contest while Hat, the Singing Turtle, and Barnaby, Kevin Bacon, and the Mighty Morphin Midget Gnomes are enjoying umbrella drinks by the pool. Meanwhile, Associate Professor Evil, the Panda Exterminator Lacey, Lady Nova, Baby Gavin, and Gwendolyn are playing something, possibly backgammon, on the deck of the ship. That from William Moore. Thank you very much, good sir. So, we shall end this program with a cheers. Let us pour a little bit of scotch into the glass so that it's not too watered down. Raise your glasses, ladies and gentlemen, to 5 years of Scotch and Smoke Rings. We had many adventures, we blew many smoke ships, we saw rings of all shapes and varieties. We cajoled together, we laughed together, we smoked cigars together, we shared wisdom. Sometimes that wisdom was of a sad nature, sometimes that wisdom was of a happy and cheerful nature, but wisdom is always good in whatever shape it comes. And so we cheers. We raise our glasses, ladies and gentlemen, to a cheers to both wisdom and to the fans who make this show possible. I thank you very much for coming and enjoying this show for the last 5 years. May there be 5 more years to come and many more. Raise your glasses, raise your goblets, ladies and gentlemen. A toast to 5 years of Scotch and Smoke Rings and the fans that make it all possible. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. A Scotchy swig, if ever there was one.
You are listening to
well, thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen, to this episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 261. I hope to see you next week, same Ox time, same Ox channel, scotchandsmokerings.com for episode 262. And as we say, ladies and gentlemen, on this fine program, at the end of every episode, I bid you to have a pleasant evening, and as always, to stay just a little bit classy. If the lag will let me end the program,